Welcome everyone to Rebel Rock. I am Dan. I am your host. It's a little show. We go through some music finds. We got some vinyl this week. Went on Discogs. Found some at the thrift store. Went to the local media shop. Traded some stuff in. Got some credit. So we're going to go through all that stuff today. Hang out a little bit. First, we're going to... I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably watch other music collecting channels, right? I would assume, just like I do. I'm a big fan of Ryan Kidd on YouTube. Taste-wise, he collects a lot of the same music I love. A lot of the 77 stuff, a lot of garage, a lot of trashy stuff. I listen to what he says, because obviously he knows what he's talking about. He's been collecting a long time. And when he brings up a band like Class, I listen. This was, I was able to find this at the local media shop and have them order it in, which I was surprised because bands like this, usually distribution's pretty piss poor, but they actually were able to find me a copy. This is like 77 style punk rock, little melodic wide, maybe a little buzzcocky in there. I don't even know how to describe it, but it sounds like it could have been recorded in 77, which is always a good thing in my book. Well-crafted songs. They stick out. The riffs are memorable. If you haven't checked this band out, I believe they're from Arizona. I do believe. They got like 3-4 records at least. I don't think this is the newest one, but it is a newer one. Really good stuff. Check out Ryan Kidd if you haven't. Ryan, thanks for the recommendation on that. Next up, we swooped up a copy of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds' Murder Ballads. Probably my second favorite Nick Cave album behind Boatman's Call. I have this on CD, and I had played it last week, and I was like, how do I not have this on vinyl? So I had them special order this one in as well. So good. Every song memorable. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Can't go wrong. Murder Ballads. These next two kind of go together, right? They go together because they were in a group together called Jacobites. And what we have here is a couple of their solo albums. This is Nicky Sudden. This is the Bible Belt album. Nicky Sudden, singer-songwriter, kind of in the vein of a Johnny Thunders, but a lot less talent, right? What happened here, he made the best of what he had. Not a great singer, not the best songwriter, not the best guitar player, but consistently pumped out albums. This is one of his better ones, in my opinion. So we're happy to get this on vinyl. It's nice that these albums are still in print, which is kind of surprising. I think this was just re-released a couple of years ago. But it's nice. It's nice to see that Nicky Sudden's still out there. And to go along with that, Dave Cusworth, who was also in Dogs D'Amour for the first album, I do believe. He's done a bunch of projects. I mean, both of these guys now are no longer with us. They've passed on, but the music lives on. And this is a best of double album here. Has all the stuff from Jacobites, Bounty Hunters, which I have some of that vinyl. Tenderhooks, which I really enjoy, but it never came out on vinyl. And some of his solo stuff. So once again, I'm just happy this stuff is still out there and it's in print. If you're not familiar with either one of these artists, check it out. It's, like I said, lo-fi, almost junky rock, acoustic, balladier type of stuff. Big fan. We got them both. Next up, this was just released. I pre-ordered this. This is a Thin Lizzy new album-esque. It has pretty much, I believe Phil Lynott had demoed up some songs acoustically, and then they just added more acoustic guitar on top of that, kind of repackaged it. We got 9 songs on here. Haven't listened to it yet. but I'm very curious. I love that art is great too right there. Anything Thin Lizzy, I'm probably just gonna order it. Whatever. We also got this Charlie Brown, the Be My Valentine Charlie Brown album here. Soft spot for all this music from Peanuts. This isn't the best. I spun this a couple days ago. It's probably my least favorite out of all the original music. But you know what? I got a bunch. I got Thanksgiving. I got Great Pumpkin. I got the Christmas album, obviously. So I keep collecting them as they come out. This was the last one I got from my local media shop. This is the Combat Rock, the People's Hall Special Edition. This has some of the mixes. So I didn't realize the story with this album and how much Joe Strummer and Mick Jones just weren't getting along. They were both working in different studios trying to mix the album on their own and just button heads. I think this has some of the mixes that Mick Jones actually did. So it'll be fun to hear some of that stuff. And there's a bunch of other special stuff unreleased on here as well. Like Thin Lizzy, The Clash released something. I feel like I need it, even if I pretty much have it all already, which I probably do have most of these tracks. So next up, we got some gifts from my buddy Cubby, who's now rocking in my new ska band. You guys are like, ska band? Yeah. My throat's all messed up, so I've been I wanted to start something new where I didn't have to sing, and we got something special going. The band's called Steppin' Razor Blades, and we're working hard. But Cubby's my piano player, but he hooked it up with some gifts. He ordered an extra copy of the I'm Stranded by the Saints box set. This thing is beautiful, right? We get 4 LPs here, and the LP1 is the original mix. The LP2, I believe, is the alternate mixes, which I had never heard before. I rocked that last week. So good. The third disc has all the singles and those type of things. And then the last one is like a live performance from the town hall. I think there's video footage from that show as well online. But super, super kind of him to gift this. The Saints are a top 5 punk band for me. Have been for a long time, especially the first 3 albums, with the kind of the original core still there before it kind of went off the rails. Wow, what a beautiful set. He also hooked it up. He did this Devo tribute, right? He also just did one a Misfits tribute. So this 10-inch vinyl here. How cool is that? Love the artwork too. I'm excited to spin this 10-inch. I've never personally been on a 10-inch record, but I would like to one day. So this is very inspiring. And the last one he hooked it up with is this Trash Mammals from Springfield, Massachusetts. And he, what he does is if he loves an album, he buys an extra copy, gives it off to a friend to check out. These guys are really, really good. I rocked the first 3 songs on it. He said, think Dead Kennedys, and it definitely musically gives off some of that early Dead Kennedy vibes with the guitars and the drums. Vocally, not so much. It's melodic, which is nice. There's some melody there. There's some substance to it. Very cool. Because I live in the Northeast, so to see another band that's kind of out there doing it, it's nice. And they're kind of standing up on their own. So shout out to these guys. Check them out if you haven't. Next up, we got some stuff I found at the thrift store. First up, we got Robert Gordon, Rockabilly Boogie. He was part of that neo-rockabilly movement, early 80s, with the Stray Cats, when that stuff was popping off again, the Polecats, Levi and the Rock Cats. For $1, yeah, I'm going to grab it. He also did an album with Link Wray that's pretty awesome too. And then we found a few Phil Ochs albums. What a cool cover. Tragic story. Folk singer. You know, he's a folk singer. Died really, really young. And that's what I'll say about Phil Ochs. Yeah. Is that all my... No, I got one more. Speaking of box sets, you ever go to the record store and you see this box set on the shelf and you're like, man, that's $150. That's a lot of money. And then you're like, I'll get it later. And then you wait 6 months and you go back and it's gone. And then you realize that all the sets are gone. Like nationwide, it's all, third-party sellers at that point. This is what happened with this one. This is the Joe Strummer 001 box set, right? I messed up. I had a chance to buy this, passed on it, and then just recently, I had to get it. Been on a big Clash kick of late, so this is a beautiful set. It has was it 2 LPs, a 7-inch, a cassette, a button, some other miscellaneous stuff. Beautiful collection. If you're a completionist when it comes to the Clash, which I am, it was essential. I was bound to get it. I found it for a good price too. I made an offer. The guy accepted. I was happy about that. So I think I ended up paying less than I would have buying it from the store when I first saw it. Also, I've been thinking a lot about Joe Strummer and Mick Jones. Who had the better career? For a long time, I was always like in the Strummer camp, but of late, listening to Big Audio Dynamite, I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Mick Jones might be the one. And then I just realized he was on a Ian Hunter record that I loved. He's all over that. I think he might have helped produce it as well. So tough to say. Mick Jones did a lot of stuff. A lot of producing too that was fantastic. Libertines, first album there. So that's going to wrap up this episode. Rebel Rock, records and more. Hopefully you guys are out there finding some cool records. Snagging up some stuff. Once again, thank you Cubby for hooking it up. Ryan Kidd for recommendations. And the community. You guys that comment, thanks. Till next time, guys, you do what you do. Toodaloo.